Okay, it's Dan back with you here. Part 2 of day number 1 of the Transform 21-Day Rapid Fat Loss Toolkit. Now, what you're looking at here on the screen is a screenshot of my computer. So this is just the file that I'm looking at. It's a Microsoft Excel file. You'll actually have access to this document, and I'm actually going to encourage you right now to, well, right after this video anyway, to click on the link on this page that says Transform Initial Assessment Worksheet. And you're going to have this same Microsoft Excel document that you'll actually be able to plug in your own information and get a complete snapshot of where you're starting from in the area of your basic measurements, your body measurements, your basic nutrition habits, as well as your lifestyle habits. So once you actually open up that document, this is what you'll see. So you have your starting time. So you see my cursor right here. You'll have your starting date. In this case, I've just already plugged in some information here. This is an imaginary person, by the way, not me. It's, of course, a woman. So if you're a woman, by the way, you want to see the worksheet that is formulated for women. If you're a man listening to this, you want to get the worksheet that is formulated for the men. The first column here, you have your starting point. So you're going to plug in your date. I just put in an imaginary date of January 1st, 2010. You'll plug in your age. You'll also plug in your height, which is in inches. So this person, 65 inches. There's 12 inches in a foot. So 65 inches, that would be 5'5". So if you're 5 foot something, you would start 60 inches is 5 feet. And then if you're 5'3", you would be 63 inches. Or if you're 5'5", you would be 65 inches, and so on and so forth. That's a good starting point for you if you're not familiar with how to convert that. Weight, you just enter your weight in pounds. I would recommend getting onto a good scale and just getting an accurate, updated weight measurement. Now, these next few items here, these are all pre-calculated based on the numbers that you're going to enter. So when you see the document, it's not going to look like this with these nice numbers here. It's going to look like this with this little code word over here. That just means that these cells are formulated to be automatically calculated without you having to do any fancy calculations. So main thing is plug in the date, plug in your age, your height, and your weight, and that's it for this section. Now if you scroll down in the document, now you're going to actually get to your measurements, your actual body measurements. So in one of the videos below, one of the bonus videos, I'm going to show you how to do your measurements. But again, I've just already pre-plugged in the information here. Shoulder measure, 42 inches, chest measure, 38, etc., etc. So you'll go ahead, do your measurements, plug those in. Again, if you're not familiar with how to do that, check out the video below that is entitled How to Do Your Own Measurements, or have someone else do it for you. And once you plug in those measurements, and once you've plugged in the first bit of information up here, these numbers here, your body fat percentage, your total fat weight, your lean weight, and your base metabolic rate, and your body mass index, BMI, those will all be calculated based on the numbers that you input. Does that make sense? Great. So go ahead, fill in those numbers, and then continue down in the page. And you're going to start to fill in your basic nutrition habits. So how many meals per day are you having? How many times a week are you having breakfast? How many times per day are you eating some form of protein? How many times per day are you drinking 1 cup or 250 milliliters of water? How many times a day are you having either some fruits or vegetables? I've just obviously punched in these imaginary numbers right here. How many times per day are you having some form of healthy fat? How many times a day are you having, or are you having a multivitamin? That's just a yes or no. So that should be 1 or 0. And then a score is going to be calculated here. Now, if you're not sure what a healthy fat is, or if you're not sure what a protein is, that's, not to worry. I've actually included on this same page a short list of some examples of what protein would be, an example of what a healthy omega-3 fat would be. So just look to the list below this video, and you won't have any problem identifying how much of what you're eating on a daily basis. And a score is going to be calculated automatically once you punch in those numbers, and the maximum score you can get is 50. This imaginary person, got a score of 22. And finally, lifestyle habits. I'll just buzz through this quickly. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing? 10 is amazing, 1 is terrible. Just plug in, how am I doing with my sleep quality, stress management, energy levels, nourishing relationships, and overall contentment, and you'll be giving a score there as well.